Okay, so here we go. We've animated our clouds, and now we are going to animate the ground layer. So to make my life a little easier, I'm just going to hide the sun, and I'm going to hide the clouds. So it could be a little distracting. It's good to keep the car there so I can determine where I want the ground. So I've already drawn in the ground, and the ground is past the stage. The stage is this black bounding box. So anything outside that box is not going to be seen. But for the ground, I want it to go beyond beyond the stage. So everything else is locked down. I'm going to select my ground. And the first thing I'm going to do before I even create a tween is I'm going to hold down the Alt key. And I'm going to click and drag, and that will duplicate the ground. And I want to just pull it off and drop it right there. So now I have doubled the length of the ground. So it kind of goes all the way over there. And I do this because I want to create a perfect loop for my animation. So you're going to duplicate the ground first. Then, right here on my ground layer, I'm going to right click and I get Create Classic Tween. It's going to ask me, hey, do you want to turn everything into a symbol? Because even though I have trees are symbols and the sign's a symbol, the whole ground itself isn't a symbol right now. So I'm just going to click OK, and it's going to just make a symbol for me that incorporates all this stuff at once. So here's where you got to be a little careful. So I already have my first keyframe, so I'm not going to mess with that. I'm going to go to the end. I'm just going to add a keyframe. I'm also going to make sure my onion skin is on. You might have to do this more than once because it's really long. But I tend to hold shift down. I'm going to drag so I match up perfectly as much as I can get it with the sign overlapping. So that's the onion skin I'm seeing. Let go. And then I could see how did I do. So now the onion skin's on. Very distracted to turn the onion skin off. And I can, let's play and test. Okay, so that works. So now the only way to see if this loop's right is if I hit Control Shift and test the movie. It's going to see, does it look like a pretty perfect loop? And it does. That looks like a perfect loop. The reason, what I say by perfect loop is nothing is jumping around when it restarts, I don't think. It's a 4-second animation, so pretty happy that's not absolutely perfect, but I think I could live with that. Awesome. So that is how you animate the ground.